Welcome
to the Mommy and
Me Show! Woo! Welcome to the Fonseca Mommy and Me Show, everybody. Today we're talking about my dad has COVID, aka COVID-19. Well, we talked about this in one of my first episodes, but we never talked about how you got it. Pretty much, because it was pretty much the beginning. And we had a special guest, one of my mom's friends, Nicole. She was really nice, right, Mom?
Oh, Nicole, all the time, a.k.a. Cola, but that's only for me.
Yeah. Also, what else?
Well, you said that we haven't talked about how people got it. Do you know how your dad got it?
Yes, so I'll tell you the whole story, everyone. And while my mom's searching for things, I'll tell you the whole story.
And he's doing this over breakfast, which was also part of one of our podcasts. What are you eating for breakfast this morning?
Captain America and waffles.
Yes, and then what do you put on the waffles?
Chocolate and peanut butter all the time.
That's right. So
it tastes delicious, actually.
Delicious. So how about I'll tell them a little bit about how your dad got it. Or do you know how your dad got it? Or am I telling them?
Know. I'll tell the whole story.
Okay, go.
So, my mom and dad were going to colleges for my mom's work. And then my dad wasn't wearing too much mask because he thought he was not allergic to it, it doesn't bother him. But he actually, when he got back, he got COVID, and then he just got COVID, and
you want to say excuse me?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It just made everything sad because I didn't spend time with my dad. I had to go suffer from aftercare for this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It was not a good week this week. Also, what else? I got a new backpack from school too. And also, my mom is okay. She got a little sick from Ike's. Because she's gluten-free and she can't eat gluten, and it wasn't gluten-free. It made her tummy bad, and I felt sad. Right?
Yeah, no, that's very sweet. Yeah, so I have acid reflux. So because of that, I can't have anything with citrus, any gluten, which is a special wheat ingredient that humankind have put in bread, dairy, and other stuff like that, carbonated drinks, etc. But you're right about what you're saying your dad. Why don't you take a bite of that delicious peanut butter waffle, chocolate waffle, right before we go to your practice today. Thank you, sir. No one is immune to coronavirus disease 2019, which when it started back in the day. So, and there's other variants coming out. And so that's why it's really important to, when you're in heavily crowded places indoors, because it wasn't isolated, you want to wear masks. And then on the CDC app, do you know there's an app for the CDC? And what is the CDC?
Actually, can you tell me that question? And to all the kids out there who do not?
Yeah, so the CDC basically is what your government pays for about getting information. I'm looking, I should know. So it's the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They are the ones who fund the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Literally, their motto is saving lives, protecting people.
Also, I want to point things out. So let's all pray for Florida, because we know there's a flood there.
Yeah, so if you are in those hurricane locations or just want to educate yourself about the weather, even the CDC, again, the letter C, D, C, can give you information about hurricane safety and everything. It's not just for the disease you don't have. And they even have their own podcast, like the week of September 19th, CDC Director Talk, discussing all these other risk factors like Alzheimer's, memory loss, increasing arthritis. You know what arthritis is?
No.
That's when it's really hard to move your hands. Like your dad, remember how your dad talks about his knees hurting all the time? So your dad basically got it from some droplets, right? So if someone's coughing, singing, yelling, and if they're not wearing a mask, right, especially if they're indoors or close to people, then they can get that. Now, here's the good news. What do you think the good news about for your dad?
He got to sleep because like the flight was so long and he didn't get to sleep a lot the whole trip, pretty much.
And then was he vaccinated?
Yep, he was all vaccinated, but today he still has COVID.
Yeah, and then
but not that much. Last time I think he had a lot, but now it's going like down.
Yeah, and right now there is a new variant called the BA.5 Omicron subvariant. Right now there are some few strains here in the U.S., but here's the good news. There is a brand new booster for adults to take. So they go to their doctor or local pharmacy, and they have a new one. And then take the flu shots. Like, didn't you get your flu shots as well, too?
Me? No, I never got a flu shot yet.
Yes, you have before. Last time you did. Last season.
Not
this season. No. We had to go. It's shot time, baby. It's shot time. And how bad are shots?
Mm-hmm.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
It is bad, but the pain gets over with pretty quick, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it was very sad because, as you say, your dad's your buddy, correct? Why don't you take another bite of that waffle, that delicious chocolate waffle, right, with peanut butter. Got to get that protein. Right?
Actually, it's with 12 degrees of protein because the chocolate has 3 grams of protein.
Yeah. So your dad basically for 5 days for the CDC, and you get all this information on their app. You had to be isolated for 5 days, no matter what, right? Where his symptoms, if he was positive or negative. So how was he during isolation for those first 5 days?
Okay, but that's it.
It was still that, right? No, you couldn't get a hug from your dad. I had to keep you a little bit distant, make sure I didn't get it, right? Because we wanted to make sure you're safe and everyone's safe. And then after the 5 days, you could, if you don't have any symptoms, you could take an antigen test. If you're still positive is not a good thing when you're doing tests, right? Antigen, you go to the pharmacy, your local doctor. If you have insurance, your folks help you cover for the cost because they're pretty expensive, right? How much was that? It was like $20, right, for 2?
No, 60.
No, well, because we bought a few. That's because we knew we were going to have a couple of tests. And then if you're still positive, just wear a good mask. Those KN95s are good. If they don't fit around your head, just put an elastic band on the back. It's just for 5 more days. And then hopefully within those 10 days after the first symptoms, you don't have you have just negative tests. You're free. If you still have a positive test, just consult with your doctor, especially if there's some people immune compromised. You know what immune compromised means?
Nope.
So is your dad immune compromised? What do you think? Yeah, he has diabetes.
Oh, yeah.
And, right? So that's something that's important to take care of other people. So COVID is going to be part of our lives. It's no different if you have a cold or flu. You should stay home, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't pick your nose, right?
Yeah, I got it.
No, don't pick your nose. You have to wash your hands still, like sing the happy birthday song, right? That's about how many seconds?
50 seconds.
20 seconds minimum, right? Top and bottom of there. And then the other thing that's really important as he's squeezing you like my elbow skin?
Yeah.
Like he's like twisting it. Yeah, is that your new fidget toy?
Maybe.
It is? Okay. All right. So wash your hands, be safe, get sleep. If you're sick for anything, just stay home. Stay home, get rest, right? And parents out there, be responsible because it is a little bit hard on the young ones too, right?
Yep.
All right. Any other advice from you? They got to hear some advice from you as you finish that waffle.
I have one more advice.
Yep.
There is gonna be a surprise for the 50th episode.
50th?
50th episode for the Fonseca Mommy and Me show.
Yeah, what is it? Any teasers?
No,
How do you know this isn't the 50th show?
cause this one is the 43.
Of the 44th one. Okay, so we have to go wait
Oh,
and
yeah,
see. 44th. Okay, 50th. Okay, I don't even know what it is. My oh my. So flex your muscles, flex those fingers, subscribe, show us how much you like us. Feel free to give us some feedback. And until next time.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, lady.